Denosa, and from our Durban studio we are joined by Dr. Anshu Padiachi, and the doctor is from Santrust. Good to have both of you ladies. Thank you very much for joining us on Morning Live.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Padiachi, I'm going to begin with you. Please start by telling us a little bit more about Santrust. Exactly what is it?
Santrust has been on the higher education scene since 1997 through its pilot program or its base program called SANPAD. This was a bilateral program with the Dutch government, and the purpose of the program was to support the higher education sector in research and research capacity building. And since then, its program, the PhD program for higher education, has taken off and has produced some 700 PhDs on the continent.
Good. Now, coming to Denosa, Dr. Tonko, if we look at the shortage of nurses that have been identified, which is one of the biggest probably challenges when it comes to NHI, how is this specific program going to assist?
The nursing education, we need high-level academics to be in control of the nursing education. So this program is going to produce PhD nurses who are going to really drive the training of new nurses that are needed, improving the numbers. Because right now our colleges, they need to be run at that level, because we are looking at creating the 4-year course to be at a degree level. Yeah. So for that, it needs to be driven by people who are at that level of academics.
What is your aim when we talk about increasing the number of nurses?
It's not only increasing in numbers, but it's also increasing the quality of nurses we have out there. So the aim is like, according to the national strategy, where we're looking the health needs out there, and the NHI is beginning to go to the community to address the issues that are facing our people, and you need nurses. Yeah. When you're talking health in this country, you're talking nurses. So we need more nurses who are going to be trained to understand the national health insurance and what it can do to improve the health indicators of this country.
Now, Dr. Padiachi, the pilot program, we're talking about the quantity of nurses. We'll only train 50 nurses now at this stage. How do you intend on sourcing them?
Well, at the moment, the program was launched yesterday in Johannesburg. The second pilot program will be launched in Cape Town next week. The program was put out to the entire academic community in South Africa, and universities nominated candidates for these particular positions. We are currently training 40 nurses at the PhD level through the kind support, of course, of Irish Aid and the National Research Foundation. We are also training approximately 30 supervisors as well.
Dr. Tonko, is this also available to nurses that are living and working overseas, South African nurses working and living overseas that would like to come back?
At the moment, we're focusing on nurses in South Africa, but we hope this is going to attract more nurses who are willing to come back to see that there are things happening for their profession, for them in the country. Yeah. So it is a way of attracting them to come back, because I think the biggest challenge with studying is being alone. So the Santrust program is making sure that you don't feel alone, because a PhD can be a very lonely process, and most people have fallen out of it. But the Santrust, the way it's packaged, is going to make sure that people are really stay in the program and succeed to finish it.
Well, here's a question for you, Dr. Padiachi, and unfortunately we're running out of time, but how are you going to make sure that the nurses that you include on the pilot program actually remain in the country and don't go and work overseas with this wonderful PhD where they just may get more money?
Well, a PhD takes approximately 3 to 4 years to complete, and the program is monitored through to the end. I can assure you that the program will ensure that we retain this capacity within the country. The passion in the selection of these candidates, their need to want to remain in the country, is one of the criteria that we use in selecting candidates for this program.
All right, and you will also assist, I imagine, from Donosa's side.
Of course, we are. Our business is nurses,
Yeah.
so we'll be supporting this program. Thank you.
Well, ladies, thank you very much for joining us. We wish you the best of luck with it. Hope it goes well. Dr. Anshu Padiachi, the CEO of Santrust in our Durban studios, and Dr. Daphne Konko from Donosa, who's here with me in the Johannesburg studio.